everyone. So this morning I'm working on the bottom part of the crown for this hat. This is just before the point where I'll turn the straw and work into the brim. This is the tapered crown style that I make so often for the early 1860s. I did the top of the crown and sides last night. And it sat on the block all night. Straw's not quite dry, even with having the heat on last night. Usually the drier it is in the house, the quicker the straw will dry. Which means during the summers, it can take a longer time for the straw to dry than it does in the winter. I've got my straw over here. It's dampened, so it's more flexible. I did cut my thread a little too long this time around, which means it's going to snag more often. See? Just like that. No, I do not use wax on my thread for working with straw. I discovered way back in the beginning that if I use the wax, it leaves just enough residue that when I put the sizing on and finish it up, I can see those spots. They bother me. I like that this thread basically disappears into the straw when I do the blocking process. So like last night's stitches are really difficult to see. One of the nice things about straw. There's many nice things about straw. So, okay, once we hit nice things about straw, might as well talk about that. One of the best things about straw is that it breathes. So if it's a very hot day, straw on your head is going to be safer than buckram or wool. And so much better than polyester. I wasn't going to get this far, but might as well keep sewing and talking. I'm going to be shaping the edges here for transitioning into the brim. Another nice thing about straw is you can change the trims almost as often as you want. If you just tack your ribbon and flowers, feathers, whatever, what have you, on, you can unpick it and change it. The thread holes, as long as you're using a needle that's not too thick. The thread holes are pretty forgiving. Now, in the Era, you could also have a straw piece reblocked. And the blocking is the shaping. So by reblocked, that means you could have its original shape reinforced, like if part of it got crushed or damaged or something. Or, depending on the change in fashion, sometimes you could actually have a straw hat or straw bonnet blocked into the newer shape. Now, of course, that doesn't work for all shape changes. But you could have a rounder brim reblocked to be a little more oval. Or you could have a crown that's more rounded, reblocked to be a little flatter. So you'll see signs and advertisements for reblocking services. And that's done with basically moisture, steam, and pressing. You'll see me doing here as I'm alternating between stitches and shaping the straw. When I lifted the straw just there a moment ago, I was actually pulling more straw out of the towel that I have to my side. I use my fingernails a lot for this. I don't have any documentation yet as to what original straw sewers did, like their individual personalized techniques. I'd love to someday run across something about that. I was delighted enough to stumble across that sewer's log. I have a whole year of what she sewed. Couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was so excited. Now my hands are a little cranky. I've discovered switching back and forth between types of sewing actually makes my hands a little fussier, a little more achy. I guess like the muscles go from one set of movements to another. You'd think it shouldn't make a big difference, but it does. So for the last several weeks, I've been quilting winter hoods. And yeah, my hands are going, what are we doing? It's not the same movement. So I wish I could actually really see the difference. I think maybe what I'll do one of these days is record a series of quilting videos, like hand quilting videos for myself. And then compare them to these videos, and I can see how I'm holding holding the needle differently. I know I do because the calluses shift. Yeah, I do find all of that fascinating. Guess I'm kind of like a fiber nerd? Sewing nerd? Alright. Woo! We hit the 10-minute point, so I think we should wrap this up. Thank you all for watching.